As Josh said, this work on the Aspen Prize is really integrally connected to the goal of dramatically increasing the number of Americans with high-quality college degrees and credentials in this country to 60%. That goal of 60% from our current level of below 40% has really become the benchmark for so many of our national conversations about higher education, whether it be at the federal policy level with the leadership of the president, whether it be from a growing number of governors who are setting attainment goals that match these national goals, or perhaps most importantly of all, from the many college presidents and other leaders in higher education who are seeing increasing attainment as the critical goal for the country to meet its social and economic goals as a country going forward. Community colleges, we must recognize, represent the core of getting to that big goal for a variety of reasons, not only because they educate the most students, but also because they serve the students who we think have the most important path to be able to take in order to meet our workforce goals as a country, particularly the low income, the minority, and the first generation populations that are at the core of what we need to focus on to move forward. Lumina Foundation, as Josh mentioned, has been focused on community colleges for much of its history through initiatives like our support for the Achieving the Dream, which is now a major national independent entity, and a variety of efforts in this area. We see at Lumina the focus of this work about the Aspen Prize as absolutely essential in order to being able to meet that big goal. But the reality is that the community college sector faces several challenges as it strives to increase its excellence, in the field of higher education. First, we all know that not enough students are actually completing their degrees at community colleges. According to the U.S. Department of Education, fewer than 4 out of every 10 community college students completes any type of degree or certificate after 6 years. The sector also lacks some generally accepted measures of student success. We've long recognized the diversity of community colleges, from smaller technical institutions to larger comprehensive urban community colleges. But we cannot let that diversity keep us from coming up with some common understanding and definitions of what success actually means for community colleges. Clear measures of success are essential if community colleges are to benchmark how well they're serving their students, and so that they can truly understand what they need to do by looking to the practices that will actually help them achieve exceptional student outcomes. This is exactly what we see the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence actually aiming to do. By defining excellence clearly and by identifying community colleges that excel at that excellence, the prize can help us to identify the most important drivers of student success and reward and really shine a spotlight on those institutions that are generating exceptional student outcomes. Now, the idea for the prize, as Josh pointed out, actually originated with the Joyce Foundation, and I want to say a few words about the Joyce Foundation's leadership of this effort in their absence. Joyce Foundation has really been the driver of the creation of the Aspen Prize, came to the White House, came to Lumina Foundation with this concept, and has really been a significant part of the success of why we are all here. And I think on behalf of all of the funding partners, I want to say a special thanks to the Joyce Foundation for their leadership as the lead funder, and also for the important work that they've been doing in driving the substantive agenda that's gotten us to this point that we are at. I also want to acknowledge our partners from the J.P. Morgan Chase Foundation and the Bank of America Charitable Foundation as critical leaders in this effort. Those two entities, we all know, are two of the top 25 businesses in America right now, and these foundations of those two organizations recognize the importance of community colleges to the health of the American economy and to American business. What each of the funding partners realizes is that the power of these kinds of prizes can have to motivate innovation on key national challenges. Let's look, for example, at the K-12 sector, where we have the illustration of the Broad Prize. The Broad Prize, which is awarded annually to the most improved urban school district in the country, has really helped to build the idea that excellence is possible even with the most at-risk students. We think it's spurred the kind of involvement from urban school leaders and from local officials that have resulted in engagement in significant transformational efforts, motivating many to design long-term reform plans that actually parallel the kinds of measures that we've seen through the Broad Prize. Now, we recognize, however, that community colleges are very different from K-12 institutions, which is why Aspen designed a selection process for the Aspen Prize that respects that vital diversity of community colleges that I was talking about earlier. By taking into account both absolute levels of performance as well as improvement over time, the prize will enable colleges that are already operating at the top in their field to showcase what they've been doing, along with helping the rising stars that are making significant improvements from their own individual baselines. In the end, we think that the Aspen Prize will enable a much clearer understanding of excellence at community colleges across the country. That will allow us to generate a database of outcomes across institutions, creating what we think is an unprecedented opportunity for learning and knowledge sharing to inspire replication of excellent student outcomes really throughout the entire community college sector. We at Lumina Foundation are very much looking forward to learning with the Aspen Institute along the way, and I know that on behalf of the funding partners, we're very much interested in seeing the results that are being achieved as a result of the prize itself.